Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching The History of Swear Words, hosted by Nicolas Cage, and presented to us by Netflix with some animation from the people behind Funny or Die. Now, when it comes to a year like 2020, I think it's a year where we should use swear words more often than ever to express our frustration, our exasperation, and our overall relief of surviving an absolute dumpster fire of a year. And History of Swear Words definitely gives us an entertaining and vaguely educational series that goes over the history and various uses of various swear words. 6 of them, to be exact. And thankfully, Nicolas Cage, the host here, doesn't just appear at the very beginning and collect a paycheck, as he appears throughout the series for about 5 minutes of each 20-minute episode to give some comedic asides as well as an intro and an outro in the various segments. The rest of the series is taken up by comedians and various professors and historians as they deliver the historical uses of the swear words in general, as well as the uses of the words that are the most prominent in pop culture, with the swear words being used as part of music groups, as they're used in movies and stuff like that. As well as some comedic asides, such as one of the actors from Defy Bloods saying the S word longer than anyone else has, supposedly. People putting their hands in ice buckets and trying not to swear versus trying to swear and see how long they can keep their hands in the buckets. And also getting some animated segments that definitely look like something you could see on the internet for Funny or Die. It's definitely a huge mixed bag of a series overall, but it's a mixed bag that's mostly got some good bits. While the educational aspects are pretty surface level, it's only 20 minutes per episode, so it feels like the people involved only have the time to get to the bare bones of history when it comes to the word, let alone digging into it. But it feels like with the best edutainment series, the purpose here is not to bore the audience with too much extravagant details. It gets you just enough information for it to be technically considered edutainment, while mostly filling you in with the entertaining stuff of the series. And seeing Nicolas Cage in a suit, being all dapper and using these swear words while also doing one of his many charismatic soliloquies, or monologues, definitely does bring some life to what would otherwise, in my opinion, be kind of a pretty thin series. Thin in the sense that they only have 6 episodes so far that are only 20 minutes apiece, and also because I feel like they needed someone like Cage to add some life to a series that can be pretty hit or miss with some of its interviews, and they needed someone big to really sell the series. Thankfully, the Cage Man never phones it in at all, and there are even some of the interview subjects, such as Sarah Silverman or Isaiah Washington Jr., did get some chuckles out of me throughout. Plus, the animation that is from the Funny or Die crew did manage to bring some life to the otherwise pretty standard interviews. Though thankfully the editing is much more competent throughout than something like Enter the Anime, which still stands as their worst documentary that's on Netflix, in my opinion. This, thankfully, is far from that level of quality, but it does feel like they do miss out on some obvious historical bits that they could have elaborated on. Not once in any of the 6 episodes they mention George Carlin and his, words you can't use on television bit, which I think is a missed opportunity. They really could have delved into that. But some of the other history that they get into are a mix of things that I knew about and I felt they did an entertaining spin on, or stuff that I didn't know about that I feel the need to research later. For, research. In that sense. But for the most part, the History of Swear Words does feel initially like a throwaway series, but with the power of the Cage Man, and with several entertaining interviews and some hilarious animation, I do think it's a good way to start off this year while getting you to laugh and relieving some stress as we start 2021 on hopefully a good note. That's why I'm giving the History of Swear Words a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.